In a land not so far away, where the sun kissed the earth and the river sang sweet songs, there lived a wicked king named Kofi. His heart was as cold as the darkest night, and his rule brought fear to every corner of the kingdom. But let me tell you, dear friends, how I came to know of his terrible deeds. It all began on a stormy night, when the winds howled like a pack of hungry wolves. I was just a young boy, sitting by the fire with my grandmother, listening to her stories. Suddenly, a loud knock echoed through our small hut. My heart raced as I opened the door, and there stood a man, his clothes tattered and his eyes wide with fear. "Help! The king's soldiers are coming," he gasped. I could see the terror in his eyes, and I knew we had to hide. We quickly pulled him inside, and my grandmother whispered, "Listen closely, for the winds carry tales of the wicked king." King Kofi ruled with an iron fist. He demanded heavy taxes from the villagers, taking their crops and livestock until they had nothing left. Those who dared to speak against him vanished into the night, never to be seen again. The people lived in constant fear, their laughter silenced by the king's cruelty. One day, a brave young girl named Amina decided she had enough. She gathered the villagers and said, "We cannot let King Kofi continue this way. We must stand together." The villagers nodded, their hearts filled with hope. They planned to confront the king and demand justice. As the sun rose the next day, Amina led the villagers to the grand palace. The guards, dressed in shiny armor, blocked their path. "You cannot enter," they shouted. But Amina stood tall and replied, "We seek justice. We will not be silenced any longer." The guards laughed, but Amina's courage inspired the villagers. They pushed forward, and soon, the king himself appeared on the balcony, his face twisted in anger. "How dare you disturb my peace?" he bellowed. Amina stepped forward, her voice steady. "Your Majesty, we are tired of your cruelty. We demand fair treatment and an end to your tyranny." The crowd murmured in agreement, their voices rising like a wave. King Kofi's eyes narrowed. "You think you can challenge me? I will show you what happens to those who defy their king." With a wave of his hand, he ordered his soldiers to capture Amina and the villagers. But just as the soldiers moved in, a strange thing happened. The winds began to howl louder, swirling around the palace like a fierce storm. The villagers felt a surge of strength, and they stood firm, united against the king's wrath. Suddenly, a voice echoed through the air, carried by the winds. "King Kofi, your time of reckoning has come. The spirits of the land will not allow your tyranny to continue." The king's face turned pale as he realized the power of the people and the spirits that protected them. In that moment, the ground shook, and the skies darkened. The villagers felt a rush of energy, and they shouted together, "We are not afraid." The winds roared in response, swirling around them like a protective shield. King Kofi, realizing he was losing control, stumbled back. "No! This cannot be," he cried. The winds grew stronger, lifting him off his feet and carrying him away from the palace, never to be seen again. With the wicked king gone, the villagers rejoiced. They celebrated their newfound freedom, and Amina became a symbol of hope and courage. The kingdom flourished once more, as laughter and joy returned to the hearts of the people. From that day on, the winds whispered tales of bravery and unity, reminding everyone that even in the darkest times, hope can shine through. And as for me, I learned that true strength lies not in power, but in the courage to stand up for what is right. And so, dear friends, remember this tale of King Kofi and the whispering winds. For in every heart, there is a spark of bravery waiting to ignite, and together, we can overcome even the wickedest of kings.